Hello and welcome to Warhammer Workshop. My name is Amy and I am joined, as always, by my good friend JF. JF, hello.
Hello.
All right, so here we are, another week, another batch of exciting pre-orders.
Yes, and we kind of we skipped last week because we had our interview with Brian
Yeah.
Carlson from Adepticon, so we didn't go through the pre-orders. World Eaters.
Yep. Angry Boys.
Yes, I painted the angriest of the Angry Boys.
Yeah, you may have
Featured in
seen
a.
it.
Yeah, it's great. I got him. I painted him. Took photos. Games Workshop published those photos. I sold him. He's leaving home tomorrow.
The circle of life continues.
Yes, exactly. No, I sold them to a friend who I didn't want an Angron until I saw your Angron. I'm like, hi, well,
Yeah, that's
I'm
pretty
not
good.
gonna do World Eaters. I'm not.
Yeah, no.
So all is well that ends well. I'm glad he's gonna have a good home.
Yes. For this week, however, we have Kill Team Soul Shackle. Soul Shackle.
Yes, anything, just any combination. If you take some emo kid's diary and select two random words, you have got yourself a Warhammer 40K book or box set title.
Mix up the titles of any Panic at the Disco CD and you're
Yeah,
there.
and this is also true.
Yeah. So Soul
I like
Shack-
this kit though.
I do too. It's another fun one. I love the table, the map table that we get in this one. That's pretty fun. We blow through through walls now.
Yes, also very exciting.
They're doing a good job building on each other. This is the third installation in the Gallo Dark series. We have one more to go.
And
exciting.
The good news behind that is that anybody that only had one kill team box and was thinking, oh man, I don't have enough scenery for all that Arcs of Omen thing. Well, now you feel a little bit more guaranteed that you can complete that set. And even if you can't complete the set with kill team boxes, you are able to just buy another box of just terrain to complete it independently.
Yeah, so that's another exciting release for this week is the Killzone Gallo Dark. So whereas the Boarding Actions terrain box was basically 2 sets, this is just the one. So if you do already have one of these Kill Team boxes, but you want to move on to Boarding Actions, you just buy this one, and now you've got it all.
Which makes for a very elegant progression, like a little bit like we predicted would happen.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy a kill team box, play some kill team, and if you want to move to 40K, then you can do some boarding actions at 500 points by just buying that kit, maybe another box of infantry, and you're all set. And boarding action boxes that we have 3 new ones coming out.
We do. Another thing we predicted were the Killzone upgrades. Shadow Vaults.
Yes, that's true.
This is not exactly how we anticipated this going down, but it is. So it's those special sprues out of the Shadow Vaults box.
It's let's go back a little bit to this whole Gallodark thing and the Soul Shackle box. I did take a look at the rules very quickly, and looks very quick glance. It looks like you have actions now to block doors, which is why you also have actions to put charges next to some walls and then actions to blow up those charges, just creating holes in walls.
Yeah.
And the scenarios are built around this sort of interaction about manipulating your opponent's movements through the Gallo Dark,
right,
in order to restrict access to objectives, which is interesting. It's very dynamic. It allows for far more complex scenarios than what we're used to in 40K, which is just go sit on this objective a lot.
Yeah, shoot anything that comes near you.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna put out. I'm going to put out the next iteration that I think might be coming so that it's documented somewhere for the world to see so that I can go, I knew it. Maybe this next one is where we get moving through the ventilation.
Oh, and listen, if that is what they do and it is not a box set for Tyranids, I'm going to be upset. Xenomorph approximates going through vents is a classic. It's important. Exactly. It needs to happen. It should really be just a kit of 5 Terminators and a bunch of Gene Stealers and a plastic lictor, which, by the way, we're not getting in those boarding action box for the Tyranids. So
Yeah.
we're all over the place a little bit, but let's go back to those 3 box sets. Clearly, one of them is Tyranids.
Okay. Well, I'm not there yet. Hold on.
I am, and
I'm still talking about pre-orders. Darn it. Let me run through. All right. So in this box are the RBDs. RBDs, according to Warhammer community, but you will pry RBDs out of my cold dead hands. And also the Drukhari kill team. But excitingly, for those who are maybe playing 40k, we've got the Kazrakin, the Imperial Breachers, the Necron box that was not very good, and the Kroot boxes, all released as their own separate little entities, as well as the 2 books for the previous kill team, boxes, and a bunch of bases with Greeblies. Very good.
It is a lot of really cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little mad that I went on this frenzy to try to trade as many Navy Breachers as possible.
Yeah.
Now they're just simply going to be available in a box, but still kind of borderline useless.
Mm-hmm.
So
for now,
we're
going to talk. Do you want to talk about the transfer sheet?
We might as well get this out of the way. So there's a lot of speculation about what the next army is going to be. Like, we're entering a sort of codex dead zone right now, like an area of silence where we don't know what's going to be next.
We don't know. We don't have a roadmap.
We don't have a roadmap for 40k. I suspect we're going to get a roadmap for 40k at Adepticon because that's the closest event. We may get something earlier. We'll see.
Yeah.
But with World Eaters, we've not only gone through all the codexes for existing armies in the most recent edition, but we've also gone above by at least a couple of armies.
Yeah.
Which leads us to think, like, are we going through the cycle again, or are we going to see a new faction? And with one of the previews for Soul Shackle, they show us a transfer sheet for the RBTs, whatever, for the Imperial Cops. And one thing that kind of stands out about this transfer sheet, well, first of all, how many times have we seen this transfer sheet for a kill team, especially a kill team that's not part of an active codex?
Yeah.
And also, this is a kill team that is just infantry,
right?
And it's just 10 figs of infantry, and you have enough transfers for 6 such units on that transfer sheet, plus some slightly larger squad markings for 6 squads of something maybe bigger than normal infantry. But beyond that, there are decals. Some of these transfers are clearly vehicle transfers.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can have a look at the Soul Shackle box, and it comes with exactly 0 vehicles.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying, maybe we're definitely seeing Arbitus as a future. And let me make something clear. This is an Arbitus transfer sheet, not an Inquisition.
No.
There is nothing about this transfer sheet is about another larger army. It is specifically about Arbitus. So is Games Workshop future-proofing that release? In case one day maybe they make an army, but they didn't do that that's the thing. They didn't do that with the Navy Breachers.
Yeah,
didn't do that with any of the other one-offs that they've done so far. So I'm not claiming that the very next codex we're seeing is Codex Arbites, but I think it's weird to not at least predict that we're going to see a codex or a codex supplement.
Yeah.
And I'm excited that at the prospect that we're probably going to see Imperial police cars or the equivalent.
Yes.
So all of that's a lot of fun.
I hadn't considered that.
And also, I mean, let's be honest. The fact that they took the Imperial police and made the effort to shoehorn them into going on a boarding action.
Yeah.
I mean, we've glossed over this. Like, it's fine. It's 40K, whatever.
I mean, it makes sense.
Why
Like,
are they there?
because they're chasing someone.
I guess.
I mean, that's what they said. They are chasing someone, and you are either in their way or you're dead, and that's as much as it's gonna be.
Right, but that is what we call in the writing industry hand waving.
Yes, because
Like,
40K notorious for no hand waving
no,
whatsoever.
absolutely. I get, but usually when there is hand waving, it's for a reason, and in this case, the reason I feel is so that they can put these models out ahead, and at the same time, like, kind of get us ready for this potential army.
I mean, arguably the same thing would be, why are there space marines? Like, space marines have better things to do than hang out on a space Hulk.
Well, I don't know. Like in this case, like these space arcs might be part of the arcs moment. Like they're just it's easier.
Yeah,
I don't
see?
think the cops are not spacefaring in a way that space marines are spacefaring.
All right, I'll buy it.
Also, the classic matchup of space marines fighting things in Space Hulk is a classic of 40K, dating back to the game Space Hulk.
Yeah.
So, in my defense,
that's fair. That's fair.
Anyways, I'm just saying, like, this decal sheet I think is a little bit Games Workshop showing their hands, which is interesting, and I'm eager to see if anything comes of it, and if whatever it is, what is it going to be.
The chalk outlines that are also on this transfer sheet, one of which has a head removed and separate chalk outline, is very good.
It is very good. I don't know if it means that they had too much space, so they needed to put something cool in there, and someone had a bright idea.
Great. Thank you.
I'm
I appreciate it.
It's all good.
On the Sigmar side, we have the new Warcry box. It's a good week for skirmish gaming. This is the Blood Hunt. This is the one with the beast hunting vampires and the Karanak worshipping cultists of chaos, which is good.
All of them great models.
Oh yeah. And similar to Kill Team, we also have all of the previous, or at least the last two previous war bands, the Seraphons and the Jade Obelisk, which is good because I did like these, but I did not buy the box because I had like a momentary like self-control moment. I don't know how it happened. But
a brief moment of lucidity.
Yeah. So that's good.
And let's be clear that the with the previews that we've been getting recently for Age of Sigmar and some of the teases in the rumor engine that show a lot of feathers.
Yeah, a lot.
The impending battle tome for Seraphons, and the fact that now you can buy a box of just a bunch of chameleon skinks and plastics.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not a bad combo for someone who's interested in Seraphons.
On the Horus Heresy side, the Sky Hunter Squadron that we just keep talking about. They're up for pre-order this week also.
Evocative.
Yeah. We have the Salamander Mark 6 upgrades and the Word Bearers and some Middle-earth made-to-order stuff.
Well, I mean, it's a lot of really cool Middle-earth. Some of the cooler models from Middle-earth are made to order. Some dudes on Wargs, I believe they're called. Yeah, no, it's
a bunch of them, but it's all stuff that I feel like if you're a diehard, you've already got them.
If you are looking to fill out your models, because usually I get kind of bored looking at Lord of the Rings models because they're very, I mean, they're cool in the Lord of the Rings sort of box, if you will. But these are mounts. These are scenic hobbits, I believe, I guess. So, I mean, all of them look fairly more dynamic than just a bunch of foot soldiers sitting there with their swords up in the air. So it's, as far as I'm concerned, this is as exciting an announcement for Lord of the Rings as it can get.
Okay. So now do you want to talk about those boarding action boxes?
Yeah, let's have a little look at those. I'm sorry, I was jumping the gun a bit. I'm very excited for these. I'm excited and angry, but So we're getting 3 more boarding patrol box sets. We're getting Necrons, which I think is the one with the most models. It's got a it's got some Wraiths, it's got some mortals. Are these immortals? No, just warriors.
Warriors.
And it's got some, I don't remember the name of the dudes that
So
can be built with shields.
it's got warriors, Lich Guard, and Ophidian destroyers. The
Right.
Lich Guard you can also build as Triarch Praetorians.
Oh, that's true. These are not
But-
Wraiths. They look like the original Wraiths,
Yeah.
like the 3rd edition metal Wraiths.
Mhm.
So every time I see them, it's like Wraiths. No,
Nope.
they're more fun than that.
You can build the Lich Guard as Praetorians, but they are not usable in boarding actions, which is
Which is
fine. It's
interesting.
fine. Mm-hmm.
The Tyranid box is actually kind of attractive to me because I've been meaning to get some more Tyranid warriors in my games, and this has 6 Tyranid warriors,
Yep.
8 Gene Stealers, and a Patriarch.
Yep.
That would be my 3rd Patriarch, but I don't know how wise that is. It's a lot of Patriarchs.
Yeah.
Are they Patriarchs or Brood
That's a
Lords?
Brood Lord.
No, Patriarchs. Yeah, Patriarchs is almost the same model
Yeah.
for Gene Stealer cults. No, this is a Brood Lord. My mistake.
It's all right. We'll forgive it this time.
They're so visually different. And then you get some Grey Knights.
Mm-hmm. One of the
Which
more
is-
interesting looking Space Marine chapters.
I keep forgetting they exist, and
Yeah.
yet they are, visually speaking, one of my favorite. I don't know why it's probably just it's probably an immune response from my brain, so I
Yeah.
don't buy any.
Yeah. Yeah. So this box comes with Castellan Crow, 5 Grey Knight Terminators, which can also be built as Paladins, and 10 Grey Knights. Good times. If you're fighting demons, they're a good way to go.
Mm-hmm.
I do like these models. They are very nice. For
They are, and
Space
like
Marines.
they're one of the last bastion of pre-Primaris Space Marines that you
Yes.
can get.
That's true. I hadn't thought of that.
But they do have their own specific armor design, so they're
Yeah.
not exactly. They kind of have a little bit of that in between thing going on.
Right.
They're
Yeah,
also
they're
more
already
recent
look
models.
more imposing than standard
Yeah.
firstborn.
So our frustration is that we've been clamoring for a lictor,
Mhm.
plastic lictor. But then again, the boarding action, boarding patrol box sets are not about new models. So I understand why we're not getting one. But man, I would hate to see this entire campaign, this is entire season of Warhammer 40K set in a Space Hulk, which is perfect for a lictor. I would hate to see it all go through without getting the lictor.
Yeah. That would be weird.
It would be a shame.
It would. Like, come on, guys. It's one model. One. Just do that one.
And we all love him so much.
Currently only currently only available in fine cast. It's fine.
Yeah, which I mean, we've said before, Finecast has come a long way. It is not the bubbly mess it used to be at launch, probably because you don't have to churn out as many anymore.
That's a good
But
point.
at the same time, man, a dynamic lictor model would be so
Really
like
cool.
it's the moment you see, because the Finecast is based on the master from the metal model.
Yeah.
And the lictor is such a characterful unit to begin with, as far as its rules are concerned, the sneakiness and all of it. And when you see what they do now with plastic, it is so, it's not difficult to imagine how cool a plastic lictor model could
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll have to wait for it
Yeah.
a little bit longer.
Maybe it'll be okay.
Maybe.
So just when we wondered what else there could be for Horus Heresy, we've got some upgrades for Contemptor dreadnoughts, like Legion specific ones. 6 of them to be exact, sons of Horus, Imperial Fists, Dark Angels, Emperor's Children, White Scars, and Iron Warriors.
Now, one can assume that this is a first
This is
wave.
round 1. Yeah.
Ah,
I am. They keep giving me reasons to not start working on my Horus Heresy army. They're like, well, wait, because now just wait for this before you build your dreadnought. Because obviously it's gonna be cool. There's gonna be big wings on it. I'm gonna want it.
there's gonna be wings and skulls on yours,
Yeah.
definitely. And I hate to say it, but these look absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I am not a fan of the Contemptor Dreadnought as a chassis. I think it looks. I like the classic original Dreadnought because it does look like a sarcophagus
Right.
with legs and arms, or
Right.
arms, barely arms, just weapons on the side, and
Yeah.
it's a very iconic look. The Contemptor, as far as I'm concerned, just looks like a robot. It's a robot. There's nothing special or iconic about it.
Sure.
But the detail on these upgrade kits is fantastic. It's characterful. It's very specific to every one of the legions. You cannot mistake them for
No.
anything else. Going down to the top knot on the one for the White Scar.
It's so good. Do you have a favorite
Of the ones depicted
of these
that
6
came
that
out,
we have so far?
Iron Warriors, I think,
That's mine too.
because it's the one that's the most asymmetrical, which
Yeah.
makes it kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I like the big tubes and I like the way it's painted.
Yeah.
So,
It's my favorite too.
but this is
Yeah.
frustrating because I have a Contemptor. It is painted. I am not getting a second Contemptor. So I wish I had known this was going to come out.
This is what I'm saying. I keep being rewarded for my procrastination, which is never good. This keeps happening. It's not good.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm going to see this pass by and I'm going to look at the, I assume, amazing Death Guard one. It's going to have like a head with a breather type thing going on. It's all of it's going to be great. But I'm not getting one because I already have a Contemptor and I really don't want to get a second one. Not when I can get a Leviathan instead.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I mean, they look great. It's frustrating.
Yeah, they really do. All right, what else do you want to talk about? Oh, I want to talk about the Halfling Stars for Blood Bowl. Every time I'm like, I have no interest in this. And they're like, but what if it was a little halfling that was holding a pie? And I'm like, well, all right, I guess.
Blood Bowl is one of those things that's very bizarre in my environment because I used to know a lot of people who played it, and now I don't know anyone who plays it.
Yeah.
Apparently, Dungeon Bowl is the most fun version of Blood Bowl you can play.
Yeah.
And that is something I might be getting into, but I don't know that I can grab any of these really cool halfling models for it. So
yeah, so she's got like a steaming meat pie in one hand, which I believe might be explosive. A hand built pie, no less. And then she's got your sort of standard pie in a tin. Her name's Cindy Pie Whistle, which is very good. And she's got a friend, Puggy Bacon Breath.
Yes.
Stop. It's too much. It's fine.
I really don't have terribly much to say about that. Like,
No,
Blood Bowl is one of those things that I'm almost intentionally avoiding at this point.
Yeah.
There are too many games.
It's too much. But I will talk about it because it's just too cute.
So,
all right, what else we got?
We can end on a dour note, if you will.
Just how everyone should always end.
Yes. Remember us fondly as we leave you with this piece of news. You've probably already seen it on social media or on the community site. But Games Workshop is looking at what they are calling a pricing update.
Yeah.
In this day and age, I don't think any company that does a pricing update means anything but increases.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, I mean, they're talking about an average increase for plastic kits of around 6%, which...
Yeah.
I mean
it's a luxury hobby. We knew that. If you've been shopping for literally anything anywhere, none of this will surprise you. But it's worth noting what's not going up. Starter sets, paint pots, tools, codexes, and books, and their synthetic brushes. None of that is going up. Spray paint is their sable brushes, Forge World, and Citadel resin and plastic, because material prices have skyrocketed. I have a bunch of Kickstarters that I backed sort of in the beginning of the pandemic, and then but now they're after production delays and things like that, all of their shipping and production costs have skyrocketed, and no one is having a good time.
I work in marketing for a company that does chemicals. And I can tell you, when the term skyrocketed is used, it is by no means an exaggeration.
No.
A lot of our materials, like not all, a lot of our materials have remained pretty stable, and we don't do plastics, but there's certain crossovers, like certain things like release materials that we use some of the same chemicals.
Sure.
A lot of things has gone up a lot, and it is prohibitive and difficult to deal with. 2 years ago, it was about how do we get these materials.
Yeah.
Now it's about how do we tell our customers, which we haven't increased the price on in years, that now we need to increase the price by sometimes up to 12%.
Yeah.
And generally speaking, I mean, we're lucky in my industry that everybody knows that the prices of materials are rising. We're a B2B company, so no one is surprised. People are just, no, we expected. We're encountering the same problems, and they're encountering the same problems with all their suppliers. I wouldn't want to be doing marketing and doing this kind of PR and announcement on a B2C side, because I know that retail customers are generally less understanding of such things.
Yeah.
Now, it may sound like we're being Games Workshop apologists, and maybe we are a little.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks. I'm not going to pretend it doesn't. We're heading into Hobby New Year, which is when I traditionally start a brand new army, and that is not great.
And I'm one of those weirdos that I still use Games Workshop sprays for my base coats, and I already find them damn near prohibitively expensive, especially compared to other cans, rattle cans for the same thing. I still keep going back to the Games Workshop ones because I've had bad experiences with other products, and I've become very skittish about any kind of rattle can I use. So I tend to be paranoid in my loyalties.
I don't use rattle cans anymore, but I will say that those ones that they formulated to go under contrast paints are the most beautiful spray cans I have ever used. And worth every penny. I do love those.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I do love the safety I feel using a familiar product.
Sure.
But already I felt that the spray cans were expensive, and spray cans is one of the things that is increasing. And I'm not surprised. Spray cans fit the pattern on things that should be going up in this stupid economy. But at the same time, like, this may be what breaks me into using my airbrush a little more for primer, and maybe risk some other brands too.
Yeah.
It's not because I understand why the prices are going up that I'm not going to be looking for alternatives where I can.
Yeah. They have given us a heads up, though. These price increases go into effect on the 6th of March. So you've got a little time to stock up if that's your thing.
I may get myself a couple of cans of some of my favorites just because.
Yeah. So that's a bummer, but also not necessarily unexpected.
No. Quick recommendation: if you are coming up on your yearly evaluation at your place of work, make sure that you look up what the average increase in price of living has been, and print out those studies and bring them in so that you can make sure that whatever raise you're getting at least matches
is
that.
actually a raise. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that it is not actually a cut in pay.
It's life tips from the middle-aged for you.
Yeah, exactly. It's life tips from middle-aged and from people who look at who can see everything else going up in prices, especially their luxury hobby, and still want to be able to afford them.
Yes. Fantastic. Well, I think that about wraps up this week. All of our social media information is in the show notes. And until next week, happy hobbying. Materials shown in this video are provided fully or in part by Games Workshop for promotional purposes. If you enjoyed this video, please consider dropping us a like and subscribing. Thanks for watching.